Sagittarius, welcome to the Black Hearted Oracle. Thank you guys for coming. This is your 30-day general read. This is for the next 30 days. It's just filmed in July. Before we get started though, I'd like to pay homage and reverence to Mother Sustainer, Father Creator, and of course my beautiful ancestors. The opening guidance for your reading comes from the Power and Sacred Vision decks. They're combined decks that I use. And you have Dream, number 16. It says, one day you will remember the great dream, and the way will become known to you. You entered into life through the veil of the dream, because your reason for being here must be kept secret from you until you find your way home. You don't know who you are now, but one fine day you will remember. It is like creation looking for itself. You are in oneness with all life, though you are not aware of it yet. Rest assured, you will awaken from the dream. Until then, let the Great Mother rest within your spirit. She is the universe. She is the womb of all life. She is the light that shines from your eyes, illuminating your daily dreams. The possibilities you dream of will become your reality. And with that, from the Moonology deck, we have a person issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. And then we have your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. So with these two cards, it's telling you that you need to balance your emotions and your practical needs in order to fulfill whatever dream it is that you're trying to bring forth. In your archetypal card, you have Poet in the Light attribute, and it is expresses soul insights in symbolic language. But you also have the Samaritan in the Shadow attributes, and is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. At the bottom, we have Unleash Your Creativity and Patience. These comes from the Heal Yourself Oracle deck. And Unleash Your Creativity is speaking of you letting forth that insight, of finally recognizing the dreams that you have in front of you and making practical steps in order to achieve them. Because inspiration comes to us all, but what happens is some of us are so caught in fear and so caught in disbelief that the gift is really real for us that we allow it to pass on to someone else. Because inspiration is from the Creator, it has to be made manifest. So if you were given the inspiration first and you don't find the willpower and the strength to do these things, then what happens is the inspiration has to move on so it can be made manifest. It won't dwell there with you forever. Patience. So patience is telling you that, especially being underneath the Samaritan card, is if you're offering help but you're wanting recognition, you have to remember that recognition will be your blessing. Things done in silence are much better than things spoken aloud when it comes to the offering help to people. But this is also telling you to have patience with yourself and your creative endeavor, especially if you're working on poetry, writing, or just anything creative, any form of inspiration that you've been given that you want to bring out into the world. We have prayer, release, impartiality, and perfection. So Saggy, you're being urged with this top row is, again, have patience, think about what you truly want, because this card is more about turning lemons into lemonade, of seeing that maybe the circumstances that you're in isn't so bad if you have a different means of looking at it. Because the release card speaks of this lady walking through a graveyard. Through the graveyard, she's being tormented by her thoughts, but she thinks it's an outside source that's tormenting her. But then she realizes that she's in a graveyard and there's nothing speaking to her but her own mind. That's when she was able to get control of it and banish these self-defeating and criticizing thoughts that she was doing to herself. She was weakening her own spirit by the internal record player that was spinning, just skipping and repeating the same things over and over in her head. But when she could do away with it and release that from her, the sun started coming out and peaking. It was no longer such a dreary day. And the impartiality card, though, it speaks of you allowing people to be who they are, but you also have to be who you are and get the higher wisdom out of it to say that, stop interfering with other people. Allow people to go on their journey. Allow people to grow on their journey. Who they choose to be is who they choose to be. And the perfection card also speaks of you wanting perfection in others but not being perfect yourself. It reminds me of a verse out of the great book of wisdom that tells you that you should pick the beam out of your own eye instead of trying to pick it out of someone else. You can't help someone, Samaritan, if you yourself are flawed. You can't expect perfection from everyone else but not yourself. You have to be impartial. You have to weigh the balance properly. So we have main female, expectation, gifts, mature man, and occupation. These three cards right here came out for Cancer. I just did Cancer's reading, but I assure you, I shuffle my decks like crazy. And this deck is a combined deck of the two same cards, the Kipper deck. You're praying to be a woman of means, a woman of stature, because you want to move to a more peaceful life. But it's telling you to have patience within this prayer that you're giving out to yourself. And you're in great expectations of it. But what is happening is that you're turning your back on your gifts. And remember that we're saying right here, it's time to unleash your creativity, because it seems like this main female is more looking towards the mature man. You're working on creating something here, which is your occupation, but I think you're trying to make it so perfect that you're scared to unleash it. Whether it's, as I said, poetry, writing, any form of art, any form of creation, there's a lot over analyzing, being overcritical of what you're putting out. So what we do is that we end up stagnating ourselves because we're looking for perfection, and there isn't any perfection. Yes, there is masterful craftsmanship, but perfect is not something that exists in nature. Right here too, you have the storyteller. So as I was saying about the creative works, it says ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So it's just pretty much just like the poet, but it's telling you that you need to have faith, you know. And though people may be gossiping about you or about your relationship that you're in a place of a courtship happening that's going to lead to great abundance and a more playful disposition. So right here on what you need to be aware of is the flow, and then you have the wizard of awareness, the magical shapeshifter, and protecting treasure. So this card speaks of you not getting in your own way, because the current of life flows much better around us when we're not in opposition to it. This release card, if you're in this scene of thinking, then what's going to happen is you're going to be resisting the flow of life. So now you're going to be coming into the awareness that you have to flow with life. You cannot keep fighting the currents, because out of your heart is what creates this magical map. So your heart is what is shifting and molding the things that will bring you to what you want. But you have to not sully the soil. So you have to protect the great and wonderful things within you and not sully the soil, not make it something that you're going to regret because you've been putting rotten seeds into your soil of creation and you don't get the benefits out of what you want. Because here we have the garden and the gate, the goddess of the moon in reverse, the healer of the ages in reverse, angel of strength, and walking away. So with this right now, this is the outcome for you, and it's telling you perfectly fine where you are, safe and secure in your expansive garden, in your beautiful, properly ordered garden with birds chirping, butterflies flying around. The only thing is happening is you're not being tested. You're not being able to go through transformations that'll bring you to exactly where you need to be. You're not trusting your heart. You're not protecting these sacred treasures, even though you think you are, because you're so sheltered. So you're not trusting your intuition and realizing that there's things within you that still needs healing. You're going to have to come up on the strength to walk away from whatever is no longer serving you, whatever is no longer allowing you to heal. And the only way you're going to be able to start this healing and being more trusting with your intuition and the inspirations that you've been giving is by walking away and finding your strength. So, okay, let's get into the clarifying. Why is the Samaritan card here for Sagittarius? Why is the Samaritan card here for Sagittarius? It's telling you to avoid this. Find a way to come out of the bothersome details and the conflicts with others. If you're doing something for somebody, don't gossip about it. Don't spread those secrets, because the great book of knowledge also says that your reward shall be, people talking about the gifts that you've given them. That will be your blessing. You won't get the blessings behind what you've done because you're somebody who likes to be praised in the public. And that's what they'll do. They'll praise you in the public, but so shall be your blessings. And it won't go as far as it should go because you prefer it to come in the mouth. Where's the Samaritan here with the 5 of fire in reverse? Where's the Samaritan here? Okay. Yeah, see exactly what I was saying about your abundance being taken aback and you just be getting your blessings through being praised in the streets. So that's what I'm saying. Avoid this conflict by just doing good deeds for people but not needing the recognition. Not needing them to praise you and say how wonderfully generous and good you are, because that will be your blessing. You won't reap the benefits of the actual work that you're doing. What is the unleash your creativity? Unleash your creativity came out with the 3 of earth. Do the work. It's time to put yourself out there so that the world can see exactly what you and who you are. Do the work and show people exactly what you love. Why is the patience here? Why is the patience here for Sagittarius? And I just want to say too that if you are with your partner and you both are starting a creative venture, It is telling you that don't forget to put a little bit of a lot of yourself within this, okay? Like unleash your creativity if you're starting a business and this is with your partner. Don't allow your partner to overrun the business. You have to have a major say within this and a means of showing people exactly who you are by unleashing your creativity while working with your partner. King of Air. So if you're dealing with a Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, this is the King of Air. It says brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. And it says speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional consideration. And I do believe that's what I said here, right? With the Cancer and the Taurus, that, you know, you need to balance the emotion and the practical. So that's exactly here too, but this is sideways. So it's telling you to have patience. Like, you know, you do need to speak your mind with confidence, but measure your words, especially being underneath this Samaritan card. Why is the King of Air here with the Patience card, please? Why is the King of Air here with the Patience card for Sagittarius? Why is the King of Air here with the Patience card? Thank you. Three of Water. So you may not be able to celebrate right now because maybe now is a time for you to actually do the work. It's not time for celebration. It's not time for partying. Or maybe somebody in your life is telling you that you're partying too much or you're just having too much of a good time. And it's time for you to put in the necessary work and be patient with the rewards that comes in by it. Why is the prayer here with the main female? Why is the prayer here with the main female? That's one. Oh, that's two. Oh, wow. Okay, I just got... Okay. Normally, I would say these two are the same. But now what I'm getting is you're wanting someone to walk away from a King of Pentacles. But if that's not the case, like this is not a third-party situation, which that's not really where I'm going with this reading because it doesn't seem like the way it seems to be more about you really trusting yourself and unleashing your creativity, bringing whatever it is that you have inside out to the world. Yeah, this main female here, they're feeling like they missed an opportunity with somebody who, like they missed the opportunity for a successful time and they're wanting to turn prayers into lemonade. I mean, lemons into lemonade. Why is the King of Earth and the Four of Water here for Sagittarius? Why is the King of Earth and the Four of Water here for Sagittarius? Oh. So they feel like they had to miss an opportunity with somebody of means, you know, because that wasn't an even give and take, and that's what they're looking for right now. Why is release here with expectations and gifts? And right here with the release and expectation of gifts, to me, this is telling you that you probably are looking forward to the blessings that's coming into your life, but you're in expectation of them, but at the same time, you're pulling them away from you by your negative thoughts. Why is release here with the expectation and the gift card? Why is the release here with expectation and the gift card? Oh, wow. You're not going to believe it. Balance. That's your card, Sagittarius. So you're going to have to make some changes on the ways that you're thinking. Find your balance, mental and emotional, practical and spiritual. You're going to have to follow your higher calling that's calling out to you. And be careful of your emotions taking you to places you don't want to go. Why is the balance card here with the release, expectation, and gift card for Sagittarius? Release. Okay, sorry. I love spirit. Yeah. Look. And at the bottom, the Magician. So, if we're going to do this, right, take each card for a card. Balance your your thoughts. Release your expectations. And be the magician that releases the gifts, that brings forth the gifts. They're here for you. You know, just as his hand is pouring out upon these lilies, which by any means are my favorite flower, just as his hand is pouring out his magic upon these lilies, your magician inside is offering you as well gifts. But you're going to have to balance your thoughts, and you're going to have to release whatever expectations you have going on here. And that's 3 major arcanas on one question. So this is very important for you. Be careful of where your mind is taken to. Why is impartiality here with gift and the mature man? Why is impartiality here with gift and mature man? Hermit. This is sideways. So you're going to have to do some healing. There's healing here that needs to be done. It may not have to be on major healing, but remember, you do have the healer of the ages in reverse and the goddess of the moon in reverse. So that right there is telling me, being that it fell out sideways, is that you need to be impartial, you know, with whoever this person represents to you. But to me too, like the mature man can always represent the masculine side of yourself. Or if you are the masculine, it can represent that, like the go-getter, the one who initiates, the one who brings the plans into fruition by action. That's what it's saying. Be impartial. Like, you have a gift, other people have gifts. Find the balance through the healing of stop being self-critical, stop being judgmental if these are things that you're going through. Why is the Hermit here with impartiality, the gift and the mature man? Oh, Two of Air. See, there's a decision that needs to be made, because this is like waffling back and forth when this comes out sideways for me. But this is being unable or unwilling to make a decision. You're at a stalemate. Why is perfection here with occupation for Sagittarius? Why is perfection here with occupation for Sagittarius? Look at that. 10 of Fire. Yeah, you're gonna, if you keep this up about seeking for everything to be perfect, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights, because you're overburdened, because you're trying to seek perfection. And if you're a perfectionist, you'll never find it. It'll be something that is always elusive from you. But you're supposed to just put your heart into your work as the magical shapeshifter and go with the flow of life and allow it to take you where you need to be. Stop fighting the currents. Why is the 10 of Fire here with the perfection card in the occupation? And I want to point out that the occupation card boils down to a 7. Boils down to a 7. And to me, that is my spiritual number. So whenever I see 7s, it means to me that spirit is seriously speaking to you. So maybe spirit is using your occupation as a means to speak to the world. And the wheel is here. The wheel of fortune is here. But it fell out sideways. And what came out? Look, the Star and the Empress. Come on now. The wheel is willing to change for you. This is the healing and the hope. This is the patience, right? This is having faith. And the Empress, of course, is abundance. It's beauty. It's magnificence. And it's just telling you, you're perfect already as you stand. Wabi sabi, you know, the perfection and imperfection. To me, I always say I'm highly flawed to the core. So many people will say, oh, why do you do this? Or why do you do that? You're a spiritual teacher. And I'm like, I'm flawed to the core. This is not something that I chose for myself. It was something that was chosen. I was guided to this. It was never an intention of mine. And look, in that you'll seek your justice by unleashing the star energies and the Empress energies and allowing this wheel to turn. Why is the magical shapeshifter here for Sagittarius? And again, that's 3 major arcanas in one unity. So this card is about traditional viewpoints. This is about marriage. This is about institutions. So it's telling you, like, if you're in a marriage and it's not going so well, allow your heart to guide you. Follow the passions. New exciting new opportunity, career advancements, change your life now. Why is the unity, the Hierophant card in reverse for Sagittarius? And that is also another 7. Ace of Fire. Oh, wow. And the one at the bottom too. So you haven't received a truth yet. But to me, this is not a truth that's going to come from the outside of you, because it fell on your crown chakra. And above that is a transformation depicted by the butterflies on this card. So you haven't received the truth yet, that you're probably fighting the flow of life, of your life, fighting against the natural currents that will honestly take you to where you want to be if you just trust and put forth the faith and follow your passions. But you're going to come upon that truth. Why is the Wizard of Awareness here? Exactly why you're going to come upon that truth is because the Wizard of Awareness is here for you. Why is the Wizard of Awareness here for Sagittarius? Yeah, a Knight of Air. This is events that occur at great speed. Take time to carefully review your options, creative solutions. Exactly. So you're going to find a way, and it's going to be so sudden, because being that you've been fighting this tide of your life, things have been feeling a lot harder than they have to be. Whenever you're going against the tide or against the current, you'll use up so much unnecessary energy. And more time, you'll even drown yourself if you're trying so hard to fight against what should naturally flow. And that's what this is letting you know, is that something is going to happen in your life that's going to bring you to this awareness that you can't fight the tides anymore. That it's going to be time for you to rest and do the necessary healing that's here for you. Why is protecting treasures here for Sagittarius? Why is protecting treasures here for Sagittarius? The World. Job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. So you're going to start protecting your sacred ground, Sagittarius, because there's a lot here for you. Why is the garden in the gate here for Sagittarius? Why is the garden in the gate here for Sagittarius? Queen of Water. Okay, because this is like my self-love card. This is the nurturing. This is the mother card, right? So it's like you're scared of your own emotions. You're scared to unleash your true self. And remember, this is the goddess of the moon. So this also represents the Queen of Water in this card, because this is a Cancer card, and Cancers are ruled by the moon. But this to me is all water sign, because the moon affects our water and our emotions and our life. So this is telling me that you're scared. Put yourself out there to be vulnerable, to be nurturing, I would say, to yourself. Why is the goddess of the moon in reverse? But it's urging you here to be a little bit more playful. Why is the goddess of the moon? Yeah, see? There's a lot of happiness and joy. You know, a brilliant new idea that leads to success. Have confidence in yourself. But you can't have confidence in yourself if you're not trusting your intuition. Why is the sun here with the goddess of the moon in reverse? Why is the sun here with the goddess of the moon in reverse? Exactly. Once you can turn that goddess of the moon upright, the sun comes out, you get your rewards, you get your recognition. You know that the Samaritan here has been putting on hold the true gifts that are available, but you get the recognition. And this is the outcome. Why is the Queen of Water in reverse for the for the garden in the gate? Let's go back to that one. Why is the Queen of Water the moon? There's too many things that you're not catching because you're not following your intuition. Release your fears that hold you back, Sagittarius, so that you can get to the sun and this recognition. Stop doubting yourself. Stop feeling like you're safe behind this wall that is you've built for yourself as a protection. But what you're protecting yourself from is your abundance. You need to have more faith. Disregard people's gossip. That's their own burden that they have to carry. Focus on the courtships and the relationships in your life that bring you joy and benefit. Why is the Healer of the Ages here? Why is the Healer of the Ages here? Because I just got a song in my head that says, like, if we do wrong, they complain. Even if we call the Father's name, what do they want us to do? Don't they see this is nothing new? Why won't they do what they want? Let us do our thing. They should be thankful that there's lights of hope that are still shining. And I do believe that's a Garnet Silk song. So why is the Healer of the Ages here in reverse for Sagittarius? Why is the Healer of the Ages here in reverse for Sagittarius? What's this one? High Priestess. Look at that. Again with the intuition. And to me, the Empress and the High Priestess, even though people say it's one and the same, I don't ever think that. Just like I think the Emperor and the Magician are one and the same, but just different modes of creation. There's messages that your spirit and creator and mother sustainer and the ancestors are trying to say to you, but you're getting stuck. You're not really trusting this. But the opportunity is in you trusting your intuition. The opportunity is here for you, but you have to listen to your intuition. And have patience, again with the patience. Consider carefully what you want before acting. So don't do things just out of the unhealed place of you. Heal the place, find the strength to move forward. Why is the Angel of Strength here for Sagittarius? Why is the Angel of Strength here for Sagittarius? There's so many major arcanas on this board. Oof. Okay. See, you're going to have to find the strength to move away from any plans that need to be revised, more going on that meets the eye, poor timing. But this right here is somebody who is sneaky, somebody who's only out for their own interests. But that's what I'm saying. To me, this is not really about someone else. This is about you. This is about you deceiving yourself. This is about you robbing yourself. This is about you stealing your own joy because you're sitting here crying over spilled milk. And it might be over this past love or this king of earth that you felt like you missed an opportunity with, because the finances may not be exactly what you want, but it's asking you to have patience and do your work. Find the thing that you love the most and do that. Build towards a new future, because the opportunity for wealth and balance and joy and playfulness is here for you. But you're lacking the faith to really stick to what you know you need to do. But the angel of strength is here for you, telling you that once you can get over these kind of issues, that you will have the strength to move on and walk away out of these things that are troubling you. Why is the walk away card here? Oh, look at that. Becoming single. And Two of Earth. Too much going on at once. Need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. So this is not necessarily saying that you have to leave a relationship. But if that is so, then that is so. This card to me is what every person needs to be: male, female, masculine, feminine, whatever you subscribe to. Everyone has to be a 9 of Earth, regardless if you're in a committed relationship or not. Because if you're not a 9 of Earth and you're in a partnership, that partnership is going to be rife with a lot of contention and a lot of struggle, because you're not contented within yourself. You don't feel abundant within yourself. So you can't come from a broken, hollow place and want to join in union and think that union is going to be successful. It's going to be codependent. Why is the 9 of Earth here with the walking away? Why is the 9 of Earth here with the walking away? But if this is a relationship that you are leaving, it's telling you that your decision will be a right one. Chariot. And remember, we kept talking about Cancer because Cancer had a similar reading but in a different tone. It's again moving on. It's reining in your dark and your light attributes through self-discipline and willpower and making important achievements. And again, so if you're dealing with a Libra, it's telling you that you're going to be walking away from that person, becoming single. And in that, you'll find your justice. Okay. Any final messages for Sagittarius? It's time to rest again. Before we go and get to the closing guidance, any final messages? Yeah. 8 of Air, illusion of being trapped. Yeah, so it's telling you that after you rest and you gain your composure, you gain back your strength, you regain your balance, you let go of these burdens, you find your magician energies and unleash your hope and your healing and become the Empress, that you're no longer going to feel stuck, because again, you're going to walk away from what no longer is serving you, whether these is a mode of thought, you know, a stagnant energy, or a bad relationship, or a relationship that has served its purpose and is no longer a fit for you anymore. Any final messages before we go and get to the closing guidance? Any final messages? No? Okay. Once we shuffle done, gotta be okay. Ace of Water. Yeah, you're gonna have to walk away and find that self-love. Yeah, and there'll be messages, right? Because you'll be at a new crossroads. Let's get into your closing guidance. This one is grief. Ooh, wow. Number 19, grief deepens you, allowing you to explore the perimeters of your soul. Grief is the only gateway to certain levels of consciousness, and it is a hard task master. Through grief, you can explore every aspect of your dark side: anger, pain, abandonment, terror, loneliness. Aspects of the sacred wound that we usually try to ignore in our daily lives. Grief forces you to acknowledge those parts of yourself that are not yet healed. If you look at grief as a teaching, you will grow. If you can look at grief with awareness and an open heart, it is one of the greatest teachers of all. The seeds of wisdom and enlightenment are planted within the wounds of grief. What is lost can come back to us again in a higher ways. If that isn't right on point for this reading, and then new moon eclipse, expect powerful change. The next message comes from the Same Power and Sacred Vision combined decks, and it's a 38 essence. It says, life is a school that we move and graduate through, learning many things as we cloak ourselves in environmental knowledge. You are on the warrior's path toward enlightenment, and one day you will peel away the accumulated knowledge like layers of an onion, moving back into the source of your power. When contemplating a Zen garden, you find that the source of your power is the essence of the Great Spirit. We come onto this earth, walk as a piece of smashed mirror, every one of us reflecting the light of our God. The experience of life is the process of piecing together these scrambled fragments into one great mandala that reflects back the one source of all being. At the center of a cyclone, we sit at the one point of stillness, the pandemonium of life circulating madly around us. Choose equilibrium, not frenzy. Live life from the center. The essence of you and the essence of the universe, primal moving force, are one. So it's telling you to find your Zen, Sagittarius. And it says emotions are running high, the supermoon, and your confidence is key to your success, new moon in Leo. And this is funny because, as again, I say Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? So we're coming into a point where we're leaving Cancer. Changes are going to have to happen. We're going into the Leo season. So this is probably a very important time for you, as it is for all of us. You're being urged to find your center, to release any fragmented or separatist thoughts that you're having that you are separate from spirit, that your dreams are not meant to be realized. They are. You wouldn't have received the inspiration if you weren't the one meant to do it. Okay, Sagittarius, I thank you for coming to the Black-Hearted Oracle. I pray these messages found you well, and I hope that you find your higher self in the quiet places, and may Ma'at hold you in her loving grace. Ashe.